Hello guys, welcome back to, I think we're going to call it Bed Chats. Not really too sure, can't really think of a better name for it to be honest. But I'm actually so excited. I was actually just going to take my makeup off. We wouldn't normally have makeup on in bed, but you know what? I'm being lazy and I couldn't be asked taking it off. Be completely real and be completely honest. And I'm also really out of breath. Whew, not too sure why. Made myself a little coffee. Do you know what I've been doing recently? Putting honey in my coffee, as well as sugar, but, you know, spicing things up a little bit. So I have made a coffee and we also do have some water as well in me Stanley Cup. Anywhoosies, last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week? Oh yeah, the perfect image, bloody hell. Do you know, I think I'm actually having mind fog and memory loss lately. I don't know what it is, but I was at the hairdresser's the other day and they was like, oh, what have you done recently? Bear in mind, like 2 weeks before that, I had been to New York. I'd been in New York. He was like, oh yeah, what have you done recently? I was like, oh, nothing really. He was like, didn't you go to New York? I was like, oh yeah. Like, he had to remind me of where I had been. Anyways, so yeah, just ignore me if I'm a little bit loopy. Hopefully the caffeine will kick in. I mean, it's literally 5 o'clock. Shouldn't really be drinking coffee at 5 o'clock because then I can't sleep at night. But even when I don't drink coffee all day or no caffeine whatsoever, I still can't sleep at night. I think I may be have insomnia, but like maybe let's not put a label on it because I actually don't know. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about struggling with friendships in your 20s. Not even just your 20s, like just our whole lives. But I feel like especially when you get to your 20s, you're not in school anymore, you're not in college, you're not in uni. I feel like that's when it gets a lot harder to make friendships and also maintain them because you're not forced. That sounds a bit awful, but you're not forced together. Like in school, you have to see those people every single day. In college, the same. In uni, the same. Especially if you're living with people in uni, you know? So like after that, it becomes a lot harder to actually make friends, want to make friends, put yourself out there. I know for me personally, I find it so difficult, and that's the first thing I want to talk about, like just making friends. Especially, I don't know, and like I feel like it should be easier these days to make friends because of social media. Like I've been living in Manchester now for 8 months. I've made no friends. Like there was no point in me moving here, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love living alone and I don't regret it. And I love being in Manchester. Manchester has a special place in my heart. But 8 months, no friends. I mean, to be fair, probably my fault. Because I don't put myself out there. Like, it takes two to tango. I shouldn't expect everyone to want to hang out with me when they don't even know me. You know? But we're going to go into that topic later of, like, not wanting to, like, see people and stuff. But I think friendships nowadays are harder because where are you going to meet someone? Like really, like where are you going to meet someone? Like I guess on social media, but then I get so nervous and so shy. Like I have raging anxiety at the moment, like actually raging anxiety to the point where I'm like, don't want to do anything. And also it's getting worse as I get older. Like it really is getting worse as I get older. I don't understand the logic. Because, like, surely your anxiety would get less? I don't know, actually. Maybe you have more things to, like, think about. I don't really know. Either way, I'm a raging stress head. Anyways, so I feel like because I do struggle with that, I feel really awkward. And I love friendships when they are on a deep level. And, like, you know more or less everything about each other. You can literally just lie there in silence and just like not speak to each other for like an hour and it won't be awkward, you know? Like those type of friendships are just, I love them. Oh, we're gonna burp again. Sorry guys. Is it gonna come out? No, I don't know. So I do find it awkward at first because the thing is with me, I'm a freak. Like I'm actually a weirdo. Like if you know me in real life, you know that I am a weirdo. I'm the one on a night out who probably gets the drunkest and starts doing the worm on the floor. I can't do the worm on the floor, by the way. So, you know how that went, okay? Can't do it, so don't do it, Caitlin. Like, make it make sense. So, when you don't know me, I feel like a lot of people think that I'm a bitch. Not a bitch. Like, just I don't think they think I'm going to be how I am, which is an absolute freak, an absolute weirdo, like. But when I get to that stage of opening up to you and I let myself free, that's when you know you've made it into me being comfortable with you. Did that make any sense? No, but let's just go with it. So once I'm like past that, like I'm fine, I'm free, I'm spreading my wings and I'm ready to go. But it takes me a while to get to that. Except actually, to be fair, sometimes I feel like when you meet someone and the vibe is just there automatically, like it's already there, and you kind of just know that you're both going to be absolutely weirdos together, and that is just fun in my eyes. But anyways, I just feel awkward. Like, I think if someone messaged me that I didn't know on Instagram, in fact, this has happened and I feel really bad. Okay, let me explain. So when I first moved to Manchester, I actually had maybe 3 people, I don't really know, who have said to me like, oh, do you want to go for coffee? Do you want to go like on a night out? Do you want to do something together? And like in the moment, I've been like, yeah, because the thing is with me, I'm a very impulsive person. So if someone said to me right now, let's go on a night out, and I was in the mood. I mean, I always say that I don't like nights out. I like bars. I don't like clubs because let's just not go down that route. I do enjoy a little cheeky night out with the girls. You know what I mean? Like when it's a fun night out and I can just dance like a weirdo. Anyways, so if someone asked me and I was in the mood, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. But if it was like someone asked me, let's go out in a month's time on this exact date, I will dread that. I will dread it for the full month. And in my head, I kind of already know I'm not going because I'm going to make up an excuse because I don't know how I'm going to feel in a month's time. I don't know if I want to go out in a month's time. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really make plans that far in advance because I don't know how I'm going to feel. Unless it was someone's birthday. Someone's birthday is completely different. If you don't go to your friends' birthdays, you're a bad friend. Sorry, like you are. I feel like whenever someone invites me to their birthday party, I need to go because I feel bad if I don't go. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, you thought of me. You thought of me. So it makes me happy. But I never know how I'm going to feel in the day, you know? So I feel like it just depends how I'm going to feel in the day. So it needs to be either we go right now or it never happens. I'm so bad. Anyways, so I feel bad because I've messaged, like these girls messaged me and I was like, oh my God, yeah, let's do it. And then I never got back to them because in my head, I was like, I'm so awkward. I'll sit there. I'll be an absolute weirdo and they're going to hate me. I'm so paranoid about that. Like when I say I think everyone hates me, it's not actually too bad now, but a few months ago, I got in my head so bad. I didn't leave my house. I didn't leave the apartment. Like, I just didn't do anything because I was that paranoid that everyone hated me that I just didn't want to speak to anyone. I didn't want to go anywhere. I get so paranoid so easily. Honestly, I'm so, what's the word? Self-destructive? Is that it? Where, like, I just push everyone away so no one can hurt me. But then I end up hurting myself because then, like, I have no one. So it never ends well, to be honest, Caitlin. Like, let's not do that. So yeah, I do feel quite anxious, but I think this year I really need to put myself out there more and try and build better friendships and also be a better friend, which I feel like we're going to get on to now because this next topic, no, it's actually not funny. Sorry, I get so awkward sometimes. It's like being a bad friend in the past and distancing myself from people. Now, I would never ever say that I personally don't think I've ever purposely been a bad friend, sorry. I distance myself from people because in the past, I feel like everyone can probably vouch for this, I hyperfixate on people and it's actually awful. It's actually awful. Don't hyperfixate on people, guys. Like, hyperfixate on food, like avocado on toast. Don't hyperfixate on a person because that's not fair on both of you, to be honest. But in the past, to be fair, kind of my whole life, I kind of also think maybe there is something wrong with me, you know? But I don't know what it is, so let's not put a label on it. But I wouldn't even say just in my 20s or teens or anything. I'd say my whole life. I've always hyperfixated on one person for a few months, and then I'm like, okay, next. Like, but not in a horrible way. I don't know what it is. I'll just spend all my time with one person at a time. We literally spend every single day together, every single minute. Like, I'm attached to the hip to this person. I would literally, they are my best friend, my ride or die, my go-to for like 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is at a time. And then next minute, the friendship just fizzles out. I think it's because we are spending every single minute of every single day together. And then it's just like, right. Like, I just feel like it never works out for me like that. So I think because I'm kind of traumatized by that and I don't want that to happen again, I distance myself from people so that I'm friends with them, but also like from a distance, and I'm not like attaching myself to them, and like so that I don't get hyperfixated on someone, because I don't like doing that, and it's not a nice thing, and it's actually awful and horrible. And I think lately, like, to be fair, like, I have been a lot better at maintaining friendships and being friends with people but not needing to see them every single day, which I do like doing. But also, it shouldn't be a case of where I'm only seeing people once a month. Like, I want to be able to see my friends more. But also, I don't live far away from everyone, but it was a lot easier when I lived like at home, because everyone's just like 15 minutes away. Like, now it's like 45 minutes to an hour, and you know, it's not just round the corner. So it can be a little bit difficult sometimes, and I understand that. And yeah, but I think I can't wait till I can see my friends more. And I think recently I have been seeing my friends more, because I would just see Barney, like my boyfriend. I would just see my boyfriend on the weekends. I'd never see my friends. And I think now I'm balancing it. I've got a good, healthy balance. And I think this year I just really want to focus on friendships now. I think last year it was kind of not me and Barney, like, it was our 1 year anniversary last year. So I feel like that, and like 2022, it was a new relationship. All I wanted to do was spend time with my boyfriend. And I think that is completely acceptable. But also, don't drop your friends for a boy. That's a shit thing to do, because you don't know if that relationship is going to end. And then who's going to be there for you if it does? Your friends. So don't drop your friends for a boy. But I also do understand when you do get into a new relationship, you are going to want to spend all your time with that person, because you're in a relationship with them, you know, and you've got that bond, you've got their attachment, you've got that connection, you know. So I feel like this year now, we've been together nearly 2 years, I think it's just about friends, and it's a girly year, you know, it's a girly pop year, it's a year for the girls, and I think I need to focus on that as well. And the thing is as well, I'm very self-aware that I've not been great, but when I am no, this sounds awful, but I know that I am a good friend when, like, once we have got that, like, connection, that bond, like, I will literally go to the ends of the earth for you. Like, genuinely, I have a great, great, great love for my friends that will never, ever go. And I think, like, the people that I've got in my life now, like, they are very genuine, and I do really appreciate them a lot for sticking by me and actually, like, sticking by me and knowing what I'm like. Because sometimes I can be like that. Maybe I'm mentally in the head, but who knows, you know? Anyways, again, pushing people away and being scared. I think, sorry, can I just have a sip of coffee? I need a little bit of caffeine, girlies. So yum. Oh, so good. Anyways, so yeah, that is, I feel like I'm just traumatized from friendships as well, to be fair. Especially massive girl groups. Let's get into that. I've been part of a few big girl groups, not in primary school. I feel like primary school, you're kind of friends with like maybe 4 people. Well, no, in primary school, you're friends with like the whole class. In my primary school, my full year group was like 25 people, less than 30. So like everyone's kind of friends, and it is what it is, you know? I feel like you're closer with some people, but like everyone's kind of friends with everyone. That's gonna go off. Anyways. Then it gets to high school and like groups form, and yeah, big girl groups. When I first went into primary school, high school, sorry. In high school, our primary school kind of stuck together a little bit for the first few months, and then everyone kind of separated, went their separate ways. I'd say like maybe halfway through year 7, and I always found myself just floating. I never really knew what friendship group I wanted to be in. I never really felt part of a friendship group. I always just felt like I was just there, and like if I wasn't there, like no one would notice, no one would care, and like, yeah. And especially when these groups are literally like 16 girls, like 20 girls, it's actually insane. It's crazy. Sorry, having a few flashbacks. Anyways, so yeah, not everyone's gonna get along. Like in a group of 16 people, not everyone is gonna like each other. That is a fact. Like not everyone is gonna get along. Not everyone is gonna be as close as some people are, and there's gonna be separate groups that come off of these friendship groups, and that is just a fact. So there was groups off of these friendship groups. I was in none of them. In fact, no, I would say like someone that I'm friends with now, actually, still from that first friendship group. I love her. I'm still friends with her now, and I'm not really friends with anyone from high school now except like 2-3 people. But if I saw anyone from my high school, like I get so nostalgic. Sorry, I'm literally like going from one topic, like one thing to another, but I get so nostalgic that when I see anyone from my high school, I get so excited. And I'm like, oh my God, like maybe not everyone, like not gonna lie, not everyone. Sorry, not everyone. But the people that I was like friends with or close to in high school that like maybe I don't see now or don't speak to now, when I see them, I'm like, oh my God, nostalgic, and it just makes me happy. And yeah, there's a couple of people where I'm like, oh, like I hope you're doing well and I wish you the best. Not everyone, but a few people, Anyways, where was we up to? Oh yeah, big friendship groups. In year 7, I had the most traumatizing thing happen to me where oh my gosh. So I remember there was a bit of a fallout, and then some people left the group or whatever, and then I was in it, and then I remember walking out of my science class, and the group of girls that I was like in a friendship group with walked past with the girl that had like fallen out with like the whole group, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So like I'm walking out of my science class, I literally remember like in vivid detail. Anyway, so I remember seeing these girls and they just walked straight past me, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Bear in mind, I'm in year 7, I'm 11 years old with no friends in this new school. I faked being sick. I went home. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm checking out. So I burst into tears because, well, to be fair, I was absolutely so upset and like traumatized. And it's scary. I know no one. There's these massive teenagers that are like towering over me. I don't know anyone here, and I have no one to speak to. I didn't want to sit in the toilets and have my lunch, so I was like, I need to go home. I need to just pretend to be sick and get someone to pick me up because I can't cope with this at all. I honestly get really emotional about it because I think that was kind of the point for me where friendships were kind of a little bit weird. I never really trusted anyone from that point forward. It was kind of really hard for me to deal with that. And then from that point forward, I'm like, everyone hates me. Like you could not speak to me for a week, and I'm like, yeah, they hate me. Like, yeah, they hate me. They don't want anything to do with me anymore. And I think that is a very like, that's my Roman Empire. No, is it? Is that the thing? Yeah. Am I thinking of the right thing? That changed my life forever and my mindset forever. And yeah, it just didn't go well. But yeah, and then my friend that I'm still friends with now, let me in her friendship group. But that one, again, was more like, it was so split into different groups, and it was kind of just, it was a little bit weird, and I did not enjoy it at all. I mean, it was funny, and like the girls are actually really lovely, and I don't really speak to any of them, to be fair, except one that I'm still friends with. But I mean, it just is what it is. But I think we all can maybe agree that we kind of just sat together for maybe convenience. I mean, no one wanted me there. I don't think anyone wanted me there. They didn't care if I was there or not. But I also think like it was just, people was just sat together because they wanted to be in a big friendship group, when realistically there could have been just like 4 separate smaller groups, and it probably would have been a lot healthier and a lot better for everyone. Which, I mean, to be fair, it did actually end up splitting off. But then I went back to my original group. God, honestly, I was a little floater, but I just genuinely didn't know who my friends were. I didn't know what to do. And yeah, it was just it was confusing. Like, you're 11 years old, you don't know, or like 12, 13, whatever. You don't know who you want to be friends with. And like, realistically as well, there's like, out of all these girls, look at me now. Like, I'm not friends with them. Not that they're bad people or anything, but I'm not friends with them now. It was just convenient because you were all in high school together. The person I am now and the person I was in high school, Jesus Christ, could not be further apart. Like, I look back at myself in high school sometimes and think, ugh, come on, Caitlin. Like, you could have handled so many situations so much better than you did. And like, you just didn't. Like, come on, girl, you know? Anyways, I think I'm just a little traumatized from friendship groups and scared of being hurt or scared of being left out, and also kind of scared about embarrassing myself. And I feel, obviously, when people are your friends when they don't care what you do, well, they tell you what's right and what's wrong, but they don't care what you do, and they're just like, yeah, it's fine, Caitlin. Like, honestly, I embarrassed myself the other week with the 2 girls that I'm friends with now, and I just kept apologizing. I'm so apologetic, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I am really genuinely sorry. And they were like, Caitlin, it's literally fine. Like, everyone gets drunk, everyone does oh my god, I'm so sorry, like, stupid things. Like, it's fine. But in my head, I'm like, they hate me. They don't want to speak to me anymore. Like, they don't want anything to do with me. I just get in my head so badly. And I'm like, girl, like, Caitlin, you need to calm down sometimes, because not everyone hates you in every situation. Not that I victimize myself, by the way. It's just like a genuine thought. I'm like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. And then I just freak out. Anyways, another thing, I love being alone a little too much. In fact, a lot. I love being on my own. I love spending time on my own. I love taking myself out. I love going shopping on my own. And I think because I love it that much, and because I've done it that much for so long now, the thought of like bringing new people into it and like doing things with people, I'm kind of like, well, I'll just do it on my own. And I think it is so important to love your own company, enjoy your own company. That's why I'll always say, like, if you can live on your own for, even if it's like 6 months, doesn't have to be a year, just, you can live on your own, I would recommend it personally. Unless maybe you're an extrovert and you rely on people to charge your social battery, which that is so crazy to me. But for me, I rely on myself being alone to charge my social battery, because I am a very much introvert. But then again, like, sometimes I can be extrovert, but mainly I'd probably say introvert. But it just depends on the people and like where I'm going and stuff. Anyways, so I think because I love spending time on my own too much, I'm just my own best friend now. But I also need to like actually see people, because I need to realize that is actually good for me, and like spending time with the girls and having girls' nights. Like, I actually love that. And I think now this year, again, like going back to the start, I'm looking for friendships. Like, I feel like, I don't know what it is, I'm just ready for girls' nights and spending time with the girls. Like, I just get really excited about it, and I'm like actually wanting to make plans with people instead of not, you know? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's important to spend time on your own and love your own company, but it's also equally as important to actually see your friends, make plans with your friends, and do stuff. It doesn't have to be going out and getting drunk. Although I am partial to a glass or two bottles of wine. I am partial to it. But sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't end well, okay? So I think I also need to understand the fact that I need to actually just go on wholesome dates and stuff. Not dates, days out with the girls instead of drinking. Because sometimes I can get a little bit too carried away. But I think, to be fair, I think those drunken nights, like, not like blackout drunk, but when you're tipsy, oh my God, New Year's Eve. I actually spent New Year's Eve with the girls this year. And I loved it. I genuinely loved it. It wasn't my plan. Like, me and my boyfriend weren't going to do anything. Anyways, so he actually ended up going to the pub with his friends, and I spent New Year's Eve with the girls. They all came here, they all slept here and everything, and it was just, I loved it. I absolutely loved it so much. We had such a good night. We actually came home at like 12:30, 1 a.m. or something, and we ended up just singing and dancing to Mamma Mia until like 5 in the morning, and then watched Wild Child. Honestly, I woke up the next day with like a sprained neck. I tried doing splits. Don't know why. In fact, no. My friend Abby, she can do the splits so well. And I was like, right, I used to be a cheerleader. I used to be a gymnast. I'm going to try and do the splits. So I just went for it. Went down on it. The next day, when I tell you I was sore. Oh gosh. I'm still going to try and do it though. Okay? Like, it's fun. Like, imagine, that's, like, it just makes me laugh. Like, she'll just go down the splits, and I'm like, do you know what, iconic? Because I imagine, like, just being on a night out and, like, on the dance floor, and then some girl just does the splits. Iconic. Like, literally iconic behaviour. So, maybe we should try and get our splits back again. It took me so long to get my splits, actually. So, we'll see. Anyways, but yeah. And then, what was another time? I can't remember what I'm trying to say. But yeah. Anyways, the other weekend. It was actually supposed to be a really good night, but guess who got a little bit too drunk? Me. Silly girls. Yeah, so that's where you line your stomach before drinking wine. Okay? I just got a little bit carried away. I got a little bit too excited, and, well, here we are. So... yeah. Do you know what I really want to go on though? I really want a girls' holiday. We were actually supposed to go on one, but like one of my friends can't get the time off work. So, which is really sad actually. Frick work. No, not frick work. Frick them not getting time off. Not her personally, but like the work not allowing it. Anyways. We were actually supposed to go on holiday. And I've actually never been... Oh no, I've been on one girls' holiday, but I've never had like a proper girls' holiday, you know? And I just really want a girls' holiday. So I don't know. Actually, one of my other friends, I feel like she is one of those people where if I said to her right now, let's go on holiday, she'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Which I love. Like, absolutely love. Because I'm kind of like that. Like, I'm like, yeah, let's just do it, you know? So maybe. But also, she is very tanned and I'm not. So... And like, even if I put fake tan on it, I think she'd still be darker than me. Honestly, my friends are so tanned. It makes me want to go back on the sunbirds. But I'm trying not to, and I'm trying to actually heal my skin because I don't want to be 50 and looking like a wrinkly old sack, you know? So... Also, my friends tan really well as well. They have olive skin, which very... jealous of, because I just have red blotchy skin and it doesn't tan. Well, actually I used to go quite dark actually, but now I just don't. I go red and burn. So anyway, back to my roots now. So yeah, I really want to go on a girls' holiday. But yeah, I think the most important thing you've got to realize is when you've got a small group of close people around you, a close support unit, that's all that matters in your life. You don't need a massive girls group of people. You don't need a massive group of people in your life. You just need a small, close group of friends. It doesn't even have to be a group of friends, just even individual friends that you can see at individual times. You enjoy spending time with them and they just make your life complete. Like, massive girl groups are overrated in my opinion, and I've not had good experiences, and I think for me, I just prefer having a small group of friends, small circle. It works out better, it's healthier for me, and it's easy to maintain, and yeah, you're actually close to those people as well. I'm sorry, if you are in a group of like 16, 20 people, and you're not all going to be close. Like, from personal experience, like when I was in these groups, I'd be close to like maybe 3 people max, 2 people, Anyways, but I feel like that's high school culture though for you. That's just the norm, especially in my high school. I think there was just about like 10 massive groups of 20 people rather than people just having their separate friends, but that's what high school's like. It's very cliquey. Mine was so cliquey, but is what it is. High school culture and all that. But I actually really hated high school. I think looking back, no, I hated high school. A lot of people say like, oh, high school is the best years of your life. Is it? Because it wasn't for me, and it wasn't for a lot of people that I talked to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get where that's come from. I don't know if it's because I'm not being funny. This is like a completely different topic, but high school is so difficult and straining, and like you're there from, you have to wake up so early, which, oh, boo-hoo, you have to wake up early, but you do. You have to wake up early, you have to be on time, or you get a detention. Like, come on, be for real, a detention. I know they're like, well, they're getting you ready to be, like, to work, which I do understand, but, like, okay, maybe. Anyways, but like, even still, and then the teachers are so nasty. Like, why'd you have to scream at me? Oh my god, so many teachers made me cry in high school. Honestly, I had a traumatic high school experience, not gonna lie. I was Billy No Mates and the teachers made me cry. It wasn't really great, was it? So oh god. But I mean, at least we're self-aware. Oh god. Anyways, I think what we have learned from today's episode is that I have mental issues. No, anyway, let's also talk about friendships and like fake friendships and everything. I have had my fair share of fake friendships, and where people are trying to sabotage you, or I don't even know. I remember this one girl. Oh my god. This one girl that I was friends with, and we were best friends, right? And she so me and this girl were best friends. We were really close, and I remember saying to her like, oh, I really want to get hair extensions because my blonde hair was frazzled and fried off, and I had like, my hair was basically up to my chin. It didn't look great, it didn't look good, so I wanted to get extensions, and I also wanted to get lip filler. And she was like, no, you don't need that. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's nice, Caitlin. Like, she's hyping you up. She's saying, like, you're naturally beautiful. No. No, that's not the case. So she was like, no, don't get hair extensions. No, you don't need your lips done. Bear in mind, she had, like, naturally plump lips. Like, she was beautiful. She had naturally plump lips. And then the week after her saying to me, don't get extensions, she dyed her hair blonde and got extensions. Come on. Like, come on. And I just, yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. She did quite a few things, but I mean, to be fair, do you know what as well? I don't even know how we stopped being friends. I feel like, to be fair, it was a lot of like things like that, and it was kind of like putting me down when, like, come on, like, we were supposed to be friends, like, don't do that. Also, I feel like as well, it's so weird. I think the best friendships blossom from those I think the best friendships blossom, why can I not get my words out? I'm like having a brain melt. I think the best friendships blossom from when you actually started hating each other first. Like, they start from hating each other and then they blossom into true friendships. I've had, like, one of the girls now that I'm friends with, we hated each other at one point over a boy. Like, literally didn't speak to each other for months and months. And then now we are so close, and she's my best friend and has been for like 4 years now, which is crazy. But yeah, didn't like each other at first. And then also the person I'm friends with now, to be fair, we never hated each other. This is another girl. We never hated each other, but we thought that each other hated each other, if that makes any sense. Like, we both thought we hated each other. So then I think, like, subconsciously we didn't like each other, which is so funny now that we spoke about it on a night out once and, like, fully just, like, bonded. And it was so funny because we were just both, like, telling each other, like, our sides and everything. Anyway, it was so funny. And I think now just got some good friendships, you know? And I feel like I'm happy at the point in my life now where I've got these friendships, and I feel like a few months ago I kind of struggled a little bit with people not liking me, people leaving me out, and just feeling not a part of anything and not a part of groups or whatever it may be. But then I realised if these were my true friends and if I was meant to be friends with these people, they wouldn't be doing that to me. Like, no true friend leaves you out or makes you feel so low and shit about yourself. No true friend is going to do that ever. Like, that's not going to happen. So I keep telling myself that it's fine. Like, as much as you may have thought these people, like these girls, were your friends, like this, they're not, and it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. Life moves on. Life's too short, and yeah, you just gotta keep moving. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it here because, not gonna lie, I think I just talked absolute shit for like nearly 40 minutes. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't know what the next one's going to be. If you have any suggestions of like topics you want me to speak about, like, please just let me know. But yeah, I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.